Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. As always, I appreciate you all continuing to watch or subscribing anew. Before I get started on this 1952 Topps card, which I think is interesting, I want to talk about something new very briefly that I'm starting to collect. It is Topps wrappers, and they're very easy to find in the later versions, like this 1980 Topps wrapper, which I got for a couple of dollars on eBay. But they're much harder as you get older. Here's a 1969 Topps wrapper. It's got this cool whale on it. So I thought this would be a neat thing to start collecting. They get very expensive as you get back into the 60s. I happen to get this one cheap. I'm basically ignoring all the buy it nows on eBay and looking for the actual auctions, because there tends to be a little bit of a softening in the market and things are going for cheaper than they were a month or two ago. Plus, I don't think there's a huge market for these empty wrappers. So something neat to try out. If you have any, let me know. I'd be interested in buying them from you. So I'm looking for pre-1980 because the other ones are extremely easy to find, and I have a bunch already. So I bought a 1952 Hall of Fame Topps card. It's not that Topps card. The 52 mantle is a dream. I'll probably never have it. But this one is Duke Snider. And I'm gonna go through a little bit of details of the 1952 set because I think it's really interesting. But I do want to say, Duke Snider, Hall of Famer. He's an 8-time All-Star, 6-time top 10 MVP player. He was actually number 2, which came second place in the MVP voting one year. He had 407 home runs, 295 batting average. He had a 920 OPS for his career. Really, really good. He won the World Series twice, once in Brooklyn and once after they moved to LA. The interesting thing about him is that he made just about $500,000 in 18 seasons, $526,000, not per year, but for his entire career, $526,000. In 2022, the minimum salary for a Major League Baseball player, $700,000. So he made less in his entire career than the minimum salary that a brand new rookie will make in Major League Baseball today. Pretty interesting. 52 Topps is not his rookie card. It is, of course, his first Topps card because, as you know, Topps started in 1952, which is why I find this set really interesting. Part of why I find it interesting. His rookie card is a 1949 Bowman card. He started his career in 47, so I'm not sure why there wasn't a 48 Bowman card, but 49 Bowman Duke Snider is his rookie. It is significantly more expensive than the $100 I paid my buddy Kevin for this card. And the card, as you can see, is in decent shape. It's not perfect by any means, but it's perfect for my collection. That might be my new catchphrase. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for my collection. I like that. Just came up with that. I'm running with it. So the 1952 Topps set, as I said, really interesting. It actually was released in 6 different sets, or 6 releases, I guess. Total of 407 cards, which was a lot back then. The first series, or first release, was dominated by New York players. You had the Giants, the Dodgers, the Yankees, all in New York, and they were the most popular teams, of course. Back then, not a ton has changed, but you don't have 3 New York teams anymore. As I said, it is the very first Topps set. It is what many people consider the rookie of Mickey Mantle. It's not really the rookie because the 51 Bowman. Speaking of which, I'm going to take a very, very short interlude here to talk about this series that I'm about to release starting on Sunday. It is about the history of baseball cards, and it's more like a deep dive of baseball cards. So the first one I'm doing is the history of Bowman baseball cards. I don't know how long the video is going to be yet. I have everything all written and I have all the images I'm going to put into it. It will not feature me except my voice. It's just a voiceover going through the history of Bowman cards dating back to the early 20th century, more than 100 years ago, with Jacob Warren Bowman. So please throw me a subscribe if you're not already. Click that bell icon and you'll get notified every time I release a video. I'm hoping to do one of these deep dives every couple of weeks. I still have card shows and stuff like that I'll continue to do on Sundays, But these, maybe 2 to 3 a month, I'd like to release of these deep dives. So imagine so right now I'm doing kind of a deep dive of the 52 Topps set, but not quite as nice as what I'm going to do with this new one. I'm going deep on these new ones. Imagine something like a deep dive on Gaudi cards, or I don't know, the 1993 Stadium Club Murphy cards. Things that I see that I think, I didn't know that. That's really interesting. So yeah, I'd love it if you would subscribe if you're not already. Even if you watch my channel, all of my videos, click subscribe. It really helps me. So back to this. This 52 Topps was the first year for Mickey Mantle Topps, all Topps, but the most famous card, Mickey Mantle Topps, it goes for, as you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars, even over $1 million for some of them, I believe. Also, of course, the first Jackie Robinson card, which it's just, people really want those first Topps cards. Mantle is more scarce because it came out in Series 6. The 6th series is more scarce. It came out later, and retailers actually canceled their orders because they were concerned about seasonal shopping, so that it came out later in the year and that they thought that people wouldn't be as interested in baseball cards. So the Mantle was in that 6th series, and because they printed fewer and distributed fewer, so more were printed that were just never distributed and probably got destroyed. So the Mantle is quite rare. In 52 Topps, variations abound. In cards 1 through 80, they all had black backs and red backs. So if you wanted card 1, for instance, Andy Pafko, you can find it in 2 different variations, black back, red back. So there's some complexity to collecting this set. Another thing is that Joe Page and Johnny Sane were error cards because they were reversed their backs. So Joe Page, the back of his card was actually Johnny Sane's back and vice versa. So some interesting error and variations in this set. So I mentioned before Andy Pafko. This is the very first Topps card, number 1 of the very first Topps set, and it's plagued by problems because it was constantly rubber banded. And the first series was 80 cards, so cards 1 and 80, because kids were collecting them and putting them in a pile together and then putting a rubber band around them. Cards 1 and 80 came in bad condition. And Andy Pafko is a common card, and it's considered the most valuable card in good condition. It's rare to find it in good condition because of the way it was treated 70 years ago. 70 years, wow. This set was missing key players like Ted Williams and Whitey Ford were both in the military at the time. So neither of them appeared in the 52 Topps set. Stan Musial was also missing because he had a exclusive contract with Bowman. And I'm going to talk more about those exclusive contracts in that intro to Bowman, history of Bowman video on Sunday. And you'll learn why Bowman didn't exist for 35 years and why Topps had to buy them back in the mid-50s. So again, click that subscribe. Click the like button on this video. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching.